The Indian government has given its nod to the country's biggest ever defense deal for buying 156 made-in-India light combat helicopters. India's Ministry of Defense signed 2 contracts with state-owned Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, to manufacture 156 Prachand attack helicopters. The deal is worth 62,000 crore rupees. Out of the 156 helicopters, 90 will be allocated to the Indian Army and 66 to the Indian Air Force. This is the biggest order for HAL so far, and the choppers will be built at their plants in Bengaluru and Karnataka. Prachand is India's first indigenously designed and developed combat helicopter. It was inducted to the Indian Air Force in October 2022. Prachand is the only attack helicopter capable of landing and taking off at 5,000 to 16,400 feet altitude, making it ideal for operations in the Siachen Glacier and eastern Ladakh. Prachand helicopters are equipped with both air-to-ground and air-to-air surface or missiles. They are also capable of participating in network-centric operations. Now, according to the Indian Defense Ministry, the deal would involve over 250 domestic companies and will generate over 8,500 direct and indirect jobs. Let's talk to our assistant editor for foreign affairs, Siddhant Sibol, who's now joining us on the phone. Siddhant Sibol, good morning. What's the significance of this deal and why does it matter?
Well, there are 2 significant parts. First, of course, is the approval, which really went through a smooth process. In fact, the day the Cabinet Committee on Security, that is yesterday, when it approved the deal, the contract was in fact signed that day itself by the Ministry of Defense. So there was an urgency and also a smoothness in the process. We know that deal includes 90 helicopters for the Indian Army, 66 for the Indian Air Force, and the contract, as you have pointed out, is worth $7.3 billion procurement of 156 the helicopters from the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Now, the second, of course, is Make in India. That is, of course, the big messaging. It is a domestically designed and developed attack helicopter, and it's notable for being the world's only combat helicopter that is capable of landing and taking off at an altitude of 5,000 meters. With a significant payload, and it, of course, helps India in high-altitude regions like Siachen Glacier and, of course, eastern Ladakh as well. In fact, what we have learned is that approximately 65 to 70% content is indigenous content and aligns with India's push for a reliance in defense manufacturing under the Make in India initiative. Of course, the helicopters will be manufactured at HAL's facilities in Bengaluru and in other part of the state of Karnataka. Also, we know that deliveries are expected to begin in the 3rd year and will span over next 5 years. All in all, the deal not only bolsters India's combat readiness, but also supports India's domestic industry.
Siddhant Sibol, the deal would involve over 250 domestic companies and will generate over 8,500 direct and indirect jobs. Could you explain that further for us?
Well, of course, that is the clear messaging in terms of how it will help the domestic industry, how it is a big messaging under the Make in India initiative on reliance, self-reliance and economic growth. What is learned is that estimates suggest that it will create over 8,500 jobs, spanning direct employment at HEL and indirect employment through supply chains and ancillary industries. In fact, the other big focus is how it will help the domestic manufacturing. The deal strengthens India's defense capabilities, stimulates the economy through sustained economic growth and, of course, job creation. And all in all, it is a big messaging, as we have been talking about, when it comes to the defense industry, its local manufacturing, and how it will help in Make in India defense production.
All right, that is our assistant editor for Foreign Affairs, Sidhan Sibol. Thank you. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.